People should not go to college if they don't know what to do. The kids are like jumping into college way too fast. And I was one of those kids thinking that college will, help me figure shit out when it's the complete opposite. And I say this because in college, you're given hundreds of like career paths or majors to choose from. You can try dipping your toes in different ponds, but there will come a time where you must jump into the pond. Whether you like it or not, you will have to choose one career path, one major, and stick to it. It's like you're in a box, and within that box, you're given different paths to choose from. And we're so invested in finding that one thing from that box that we even fail to acknowledge the existence of alternatives. And it's very hard to find alternatives when you haven't tried shit. People don't know what they like or dislike. And that's because we don't give ourselves the time to figure that out. Because think about it. You go to school for 18 years? After that, college for 4 or more years. And after that, job, and then you settle. Where's the time to think? Where's the time to go out and experience shit? Where's the time to get to know oneself? We don't give ourselves the time, and that's the problem. Listen, fuck the degree. You need skills. How many people that have a degree have actually ingested all that knowledge into them? Not a lot. Being a college student, I can assure you, majority of the people are cheating. I mean, why do your homework when you can look that shit up in Quizlet? Why read your class's book when you can just look up the summary of it? Or why even prepare for your exam or quizzes when you can just look that shit up in Chegg? See, information is everywhere. Internet has just fucked college up. The main goal in college was, is, and will be to pass classes. Most of the students don't even give a fuck about learning. It's never about learning. It's just about passing classes. Right? That's why I think degree is useless. Because a degree defines what classes you've taken rather than what skills you have. Today you need skills, and there's a lot of ways to acquire that skills. Degrees are becoming less valuable. People are caring less and less about your degree and what you can bring to the table. A degree on something you don't even give a fuck about might make you look smart. But remember, when it's time to fight on the battlefield, you're gonna die. Because there are people who actually care about this shit that are just gonna crush you. Today is October 22nd, 2020, and there's a global pandemic going on. The virus is running the streets. That's why everything is online. From my classes, to meetings, to appointments, to exams, to quizzes, literally everything is online. And I fucking hate it. Number one reason why I hate online college courses is because they have the worst lecture. Worst lecture! The fuck, bro? Professors are supposed to be good at this shit, but they suck. Or at least my professors, they suck. You know what my lectures are? My lectures are literally a PowerPoint in a video, and the teacher's talking over it. She's going word to word. All right, word to word, next slide. Word to word, next slide. There was no fucking explanation. How am I supposed to get this shit? Back in 2019, we went to lockdown early. So back in 2019, I had an econ professor, one of the best professors I ever had in my life. He was very good at his profession. He was very good at delivering message. He understood that delivering large amount of information to that big of an audience is hard. He broke the topics down and he explained it so well. He used a non-verbal communication. He used his body language. He was up in a whiteboard explaining shit. He actually cared about the students. And he gave out his personal number for people who did not understand the content and wanted to get to him ASAP. I respect those kind of teachers. I appreciate those kind of teachers. My teacher, bro, I don't even understand the bit. Second point, looking up shit is easy. If I don't understand my lecture, how the fuck am I supposed to do my homework? That's why I go to Chegg to understand the material through Chegg. right? I go to YouTube, I go to other sources to understand that shit. I'm in this constant habit of just looking shit up because I just don't understand. And that's not an ideal learning environment. And lastly, there's a very little interaction between students and teachers. If you don't know something, you gotta email the professor, right? And my professor takes 2 to 3 business days to fucking reply. Last week, I had to email my advisor regarding the issue I was facing with this certain professor. And I told my advisor that, she is literally not teaching, and homeworks are completely different than the lecture. Exams are like crazy. It's nothing related to the course. I told him specifically what was wrong with the class and what I was having trouble, and the other students as well. And I get an email after 4 days. 4 days. Where the fuck has this motherfucker been? 4 days? It takes you 4 days to reply to an email? Okay, and I got the email and he sent me a link to a tutoring. I wrote the man a whole fucking novel explaining how this teacher sucks. And this man gives me a link to a tutoring. And also, by the way, tutoring in college are done by students that have already taken the course. You go to tutoring if you don't understand like certain problems. I don't understand the whole course. You think this guy's gonna teach me the whole fucking course? They don't listen to you. They just don't listen to you. Students in that class, we as a students collectively, all 92 students, emailed the education of director or whatever. Like, those are the big boys. And we explained in great detail of why the professor is not doing her job. And she's refusing to show us the answer to test quizzes and all that shit so we can learn from our mistakes, right? And we talked about that. We talked about like how homeworks are completely different and how lectures are the worst. And we went on a great detail in explaining how this class sucks and how the professor is shit, right? It's been a month. It's been a month and still not a single reply, not a single action. See, that's why you're just a number in college. They don't give a fuck about you. That's why high school and colleges, they encourage you to work harder. They don't care about you. It's not because they're like, they're worried that you're gonna fail. It's just because they care about the reputation of the institution. They care that if you fail, the stats are going to go down and no one's going to come to this college. I mean, who wants to go to a college that the students in that college are constantly failing? And no one wants to go to that. That's why they care about image more than anything else. You're just a fucking number. No one gives a fuck about you. This is where I give up on college. This made me realize how outdated college has become. And when I can just look up, when I can just watch an Indian guy on YouTube explain the content so much better than my own fucking professor, which I'm paying more than $2,000 for a class, that's sus. You know what I'm saying? Shit don't make sense. College is outdated, man. College is so outdated. And that's why before going to college, you gotta really ask yourself why you're going to college. You gotta do your research, right? College is not what it seems to be. It's not this educational factory that when you just walk in, you come out with a guaranteed job and like knowledge. No, that is absolutely bullshit. That's not true at all. That's why keep on dissecting your thinking. Keep on asking yourself why you're doing the things you're doing. Why are you going to college? Because if you don't ask yourself that question, you're just going to be confused in college. You're just going to be like going from one place to another, You don't even know what the fuck you're doing. Lectures are shit, man. Shit. It's crazy. So you don't want to fall into that rabbit hole. College is put on this gigantic pedestal where it is valued a lot than it actually should be, which makes the other alternatives seem impossible. But that is not true. Remember, you are not living in the 1950s. You're living in the era of opportunities. You're living in the era of internet, the greatest thing that has happened to mankind. You can literally do anything you want. So give yourself time to do that. Give yourself permission to go out and experience shit. And college is still gonna be here. You can come back to college anytime. So give yourself time. The easiest way to find out what you're worth is by putting yourself in challenging situations. You can get a job or volunteer with a different organization to develop your skill. You can travel, you can follow your current passion, you can do whatever the fuck you want. But it's scary. I know it's scary because you're not following the majority. If you're not following the majority, it makes you seem like you're doing something wrong. But that's not true. Rather, you're putting yourself out in an actual battlefield and not reading about how to fight a battle. And lastly, and this is the most important part of this equation, and that is to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then nothing is gonna work. You have to believe in yourself, and that is the foundation of whatever you will do. You need confidence. And confidence is a result of actions, not requirements. So go out there and do. That's it for Think Free Without Borders. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you so much for watching.